This is Figuring It Out Together with me, Dr. Michael Mazius. Hello everybody, this is Dr. Michael Mazius coming back at you from my home office here in Whitefish Bay. I am a clinical psychologist who directs a behavioral health group in Mequon, Wisconsin, a mental health clinic called North Shore Center. The last video I made was probably 3 months ago, and it was about just sort of coping with the pandemic, initial thoughts. We're back, and I'd say there hasn't been much change, frankly, and for many of us, that can be discouraging, worrisome, upsetting, annoying. And so I thought I would come back today and talk about how we can use a field of study in psychology called positive psychology to help us lift our spirits and make our way gallantly and intelligently and effectively and constructively through, as we continue to make our way through the pandemic. And I want to talk about really one simple point today. And that is the importance of finding ways to make ourselves feel happy. The progenitor of positive psychology is a psychologist named Martin Seligman. Martin Seligman teaches at the University of Pennsylvania. He coincidentally coined the term learned helplessness. He created a paradigm for understanding depression, and that paradigm reveals how depression can flow from the kind of thinking that we are helpless against the forces that have besieged us. Positive psychology is the antidote to that. Even though it's true during this coronavirus period, we really don't have much control. Most of us probably are not going to create a vaccine or find treatment that's going to make its way to us. So we don't have much control over, in fact, I don't think we have any control over how long this is going to last. So Seligman would argue, using a positive psychology paradigm, that A, we need to accept that, and B, rather than succumb to the belief that we can't do anything about it, therefore we'll just have to muddle through. Oh no, Seligman says we need to reflect on the question, what can we do with the cards that we've been dealt so that we end up with a winning hand? The winning hand will make us feel happy. So this sounds like a simple request, and maybe, hopefully, most of you, if not all of you, are already doing this. But it's especially important that during these times we think about the question, what makes us happy? We reflect on that question. And we give ourselves time to think through that. In other words, the first response that comes to mind may be the right response, but that may not necessarily be the case. So we want to think about what makes us happy. Is it time with friends, communicating in a socially distant way? Is it time with our kids, or in my case, with my grandkids and with my kids? Is it time, solitary time, reading? Is it time walking, exercising, meditating? It doesn't matter what it is, as long as we are regularly engaging in a practice or two that makes us happy. Happiness elevates the dopamine and serotonin in our brain. It actually restores and rejuvenates our other functioning organs. It creates a sense of optimism. So simple task, maybe not so simple actually to make time for these days because we're all so busy, but please make time to think about what makes you happy and then activate. Make sure you do it, and make sure you do it routinely. One more point, I want to sort of use the word ritual, because when we do things that make us happy in a routine sort of way, when we make it a ritual, and we all can do that. I mean, most of us brush our teeth 3 times a day. We lecture to our young ones brush your teeth, and eventually it becomes a habit. So we can create habits, we can create routines. We need to create routines which make us happy. But I'm reading a book right now. It's called Sick Souls, Healthy Minds. It's about really the father of psychology and his theory, William James. And William James said that routines are important. They're important human endeavors. They make us feel like we have some control, which is interesting, a la Seligman. But James also says that in addition to doing routines, we also have to pay attention to the stream of life. We need to pay attention to the flow of life. We need to remind ourselves that every day is different. Every moment is different. We experience every moment differently. And yes, the coronavirus, which has come and has been here for now 5-6 months, will be here for longer, but it won't be here forever. So feeling happy comes from rituals, but feeling happy, experiencing happiness also comes from just noticing the awesomeness, if that is such a word, of life. The beautiful sky, the air that fills the sky and the ground. It may sound hokey, but please make sure that you're paying attention to everything that's happening around you too, because that also is a surefire way of creating happiness and making us all mentally and emotionally healthier during these challenging times. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back. I'm going to talk about compassion, another core piece in this puzzle that we're now putting together as we make our way through the pandemic. Thank you.